just been inside the church, and it's now turned into a very large museum. Every single part of the church has been removed and placed into caskets, and there's a charge of 10 reals to go in there. Your camera is concealed into a box, and there's a cafe that accepts American Express, Visa and MasterCard, and sells all the packaged goods, nothing natural. And there's security, and there's staff, and they're making money out of the old history where there's no money to be made anymore of these churches. And they're still doing different means of ways to earn money. UNESCO is another large corporation that goes around the world to mainly the old cities to try and place the importance and interest with the world. Yet, look at this. All the money that we pay, they're not cleaning the rubbish that are thrown onto the floor. Look at this. Trash, trashed, trash, rubbish. No, just not once, everywhere. Everywhere, of course. And then they charge you to go in. Where's your freedom? Where's your democracy? We are fooled. We are fooled, and we are made stupid. We just can't shake off not having to pay. Everything is money these days, and they're still earning money. And all this was built from the slave labor, but the practicalities were used from the old times when they came from Europe with some kind of an understanding with weapons and heavy armament. They managed to use the shackles and so on methods and shackle them and use them to extract gold out of the mines that are just behind those roofs that's just on that cliffs. Yes, folk, the indigenous people built this city, built these churches, built all the gold mines, excavated all the gold mines, and so on and so forth. And then they brought in the West African slaves to work in the with even more heavy shackles and arms were used to manage and control methodically for mining, and new techniques of torture and new techniques of very horrible methods were used to extract the natural resources. Today they've been replaced by machines. It's not because they were clever, it's just because they were totally unable to manage the numbers and control using the old methods and technique. They use a different methods today to control the humanity on earth. Yes, folk, we still are modern slaves of a very old system that is in place. It will very soon, if we don't correct ourselves and educate ourselves to withdraw ourselves from these very old methods and declare ourselves to respect and be part of the common heritage and recognize individual human beings as non-subservient to each other, only then we will rise from the terrible condition that we will put ourselves in. Yes, it is very painful to go and see these places of worship today, because they're enriched by so much of torture and pain and hardship. Where Buddha, he didn't have all this luxury and richness, because if you ask why the Buddha is so poor in Asia, it's because he never used methods that are used to build a church and all the other religions that are man-made, causing fear and terrible fear. There we go. The midnight or the midday bells are ringing around the entire city. Majority of those churches are now shut, unable to manage and maintain. The contents of the church is removed and placed in museums to try and earn money. Church bell ringing. There's no church anymore. There's no one going in there to pray any longer. Nobody is able to go because they have to pay even to pray today. The religion has become a money-making machine to this day. Yes, if you go to Rome, the Vatican is the largest money-making machine on earth, and they charge you quite a lot, and you can't simply go in and see the history, the art. You got to queue up, you got to fill an internet form, internet booking, charge. They charge you a fee. And how can they call you? How can any religion do that to you, what they have done to us today? And hence why the Buddhism, people are trying to follow Buddhism for some reason or the other. They've realized the Buddhism is rich inside, not from the outside. The Buddhism is so rich inside, you cannot see. You need to be able to feel the same sense of understanding with Buddhism compared to Christianity.